Looming between university workers and the federal government over withheld salaries. And the Joint Action Committee of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SSANU, has issued a one-week ultimatum to the federal government to pay the withheld salaries of members or risk an industrial action. In a statement jointly signed by the General Secretary of NASU, Adeyemi, and the President of SSANU, Mohammed Ibrahim, the unions warned that they shouldn't be held responsible if university administration is grounded to a halt following the failure of the government to comply with the ultimatum. Well, let's hear from the leadership of the unions.
Quite absurd, quite unfortunate, and to fast forward to the transition that brought in this government, the engagements continued. And the President, Bola Tinubu government, in his own wisdom, decided to grant a waiver for the payment of 4 months of the withheld salaries. And you could remember also that was in October 2023. And the special advisor to the president on public affairs or media, Ajuri Ngelali, in his release, did mention that, that the waiver was for the payment of 4 months withheld salary of workers in the universities. That is, all workers in ASU, in SSANU, NASU, and NAT. And fast forward to today, we realize that only members or our colleagues who are in the academics, that's members of ASU, were the ones that got the payment of 4 months out of their 8 months. And upon inquiry, we realized that the memo that was written by the Chief of Staff to the Minister of Finance and subsequently the approval to the Accountant General had only members of ASU contained therein. So we were taken aback as to what happened to the President's approval. And this is giving a lot of concern. Here we are working in the same environment. We went on the same strike, on our issues, and we struck a deal and signed an agreement. And the President of the country granted a waiver to pay the money. And then members of NASU and SSANU were kept at bay. So we reached out to the Minister of Education, and he did assure us that the approval of Mr. President was for all workers in the public universities, especially the ones in the federal universities, as this case is concerned. So 2 weeks down the line, we are yet to receive payments for the withheld salary. So this is something that has given a lot of concern, and our members are restive. You can understand that it's just like a family of father, mother, and children. And then the father and mother, maltreat other children, and then also just, brings out one to give the child a special treatment. So we decided in our wisdom, because ours is that which is so humane. We are majorly populated by professionals. In SSANU and NASU, we have accountants, we have engineers, we have administrators, doctors, planners, architects, name it. We do everything in the university outside teaching. So ours is to draw the attention of the public and also reach out to those that matter to intervene in this matter, because our patience is clearly running out, and we are meeting within the next 7 days to take a final decision. But we said that we should reach out to the world so that at the end of the day, nobody will blame us to say that we just decided to down tools. But clearly, with the current economic situation in the country, with the way things...
The President of SSANU, Mohammed Ibrahim, speaking there. But BKO, this story, that he revealed can be quite troubling when the two parties have agreed, a waiver will be granted, and all of a sudden only one person was granted, another body was not granted. What do you make of what happened? You know,
I want to believe that there was a mix-up somewhere, because the president didn't say pay ASU alone. And if you were to look at the issue dispassionately, ASU was at the forefront of the struggle, and ASU was paid, and you didn't pay, because when university teachers go on strike, the whole school, the school will be shut.
Yeah.
Because what is the point? You exist for the students. The students are not going to receive lectures, the school will be shut. Meaning that these administrative workers and the rest of them, they will also not be paid. So they were not paid during that period. So you can't then go and pay ASU alone. I read what Cornwall and others were saying. Cornwall was saying, look, our own members did not go on strike. So you are not supposed to even owe us. You are supposed to pay us everything. But the government must have said to her, this is a faction of the academic staff. But when they decided to go on strike, the whole school was shut. I'm not saying that's their reason, but they must have reasoned that, look, all of you are university lecturers, you didn't work during that period. There were lecturers who also complained that, look, even during the strike, we were doing community work. Some of us were supervising projects, PhD theses, and the rest of them. So that it wasn't like they did not work at all. Yeah. Of course, the argument was shut down. I want to believe that this is a mix-up somewhere. And since they had written to the Chief of Staff, to the President, on their exclusion, I expect the Chief of Staff to take the right steps, go back to the President to say, look, we made a mistake somewhere in the payment. The payment should have accommodated everybody. You know, it's 4 months out of 8 months. The President graciously approved. So let everybody be paid.
Absolutely.
That's in the interest of justice, let everybody be paid. NASU, they are also, you don't run a university with academic staff alone. They are as important as the rest of them. So,
Chikebi, your position on this matter?
Well, the reality is that there must have been a mix-up somewhere. Because I don't think anybody in their right mind will go out of their way to cut off the non-academic staff. Remember, they are not asking for bonuses or waivers. They're asking for their salaries that were affected by the strike. And like Gide said, they are on strike by default. Because once there are no students to teach, there's no basis to keep the universities open. So even if they are willing to work, there are really nobody to service. No students in the hostel to maintain generators for, or to run water for. And there are no grasses to be cut because there's nobody to use the facilities. So I think whoever made this error has not done the president or the administration any favors. Because like the man said, the president made a promise. This was confirmed by the Minister of Education. That meant that at the point in time, those who are supposed to draw a line have done that. Somebody down the line must have decided these people are more important than these people. And that can be damaging to the morale of these workers. Because whether we like it or not, as Yorubas will say, if you think this finger is useless, let somebody cut it and put pepper there. Whether you'll be able to sleep. Because you look at it and say, I don't use it for anything.
It's very insignificant. Yeah.
But let somebody, or you get a condo. And then when you can't sleep for days, you realize that the finger is also massive. Because if these people should switch off water, lights, and refuse to cut the grass and all that, the university will start smelling under 3-4 days. So whoever is doing this is not doing the presidency any favors.
Absolutely.
It must be rectified as quickly as possible.
Are they not even the security people?
Yeah.
Porters and the rest of them. Are they not non-academics?
Yeah, everybody, engineers.
You can't use the library. You can't use, you know, so
Yeah, it's important
makes
of the
no
academic
sense.
staff.
It makes no sense to do
to be excluded.
what they have done. I sincerely believe that this was an error. Of course, it can be redressed.
And quickly too.
Redressed, and we'll appeal to the president to quickly respond to the plea of these guys. We don't want them to go on strike.
Indeed, because it's like they say, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers, and the grass in this case are the students. Well, let's quickly go on a very quick break. You're still on to journalist